mind is also windy, mind is also calm,
Yes.
mind is also reactive someday. And that someday is the issue. What is that issue? Is that I don't know when I'm going to get upset, when I'm going to get angry, when I will react. I don't know at all. I don't know. So the same thing, it is like the weather. We don't know about the weather. So we don't know when we are going to get upset, when we are going to get angry, when we are going to say, hell with you, honey, I'm divorced, I'm divorcing. I don't know. And I even do not know why I have chosen a particular person as my partner or a friend. No, no, I know it. I have evaluated, I have intellectually understood. Then what happens after a few weeks? What happens after a few weeks? Or a month? Or years? We have strong likes and dislikes. We have a strong reaction against the person whom we say is the soulmate. So it is like weather is windy or have cold and summer. So it is very important to understand from where these thought pops up or emotions pops up in our mind. So in the last few sessions, we have been understanding the impurities of the mind. There are 4 stages of the impurities of the mind. In the very first stage, as I said, I don't know. I don't know when you are going to upset if I make some statement and you say, hell with you, beard, I'm not going to attend the session. It may happen. And I'm aware of it. And I'm happy. I'm happy if you leave it, or I'm happy that if you join it. Why? So the first stage of the impurity of the mind, which is unknown to us, we are totally ignorant about. It is located at the deeper level of our unconsciousness. So what is located in the deeper level of our unconsciousness? It is trillions of impressions are already there. What are those impressions? Yesterday, how many times you were upset? Those impressions are already stored in the storehouse of the mind. 10 years ago, how many times you reacted angry and upset in the last week, or 10 years, 20 years, 40 years? All those impressions, you think that, no, I have got rid of it. Now I don't have any problem. But the impressions are already stored there of reaction, of anger, of strong likes and dislikes, of hesitation, of upset, of mood swing, long list. And also of the good impressions are there. When you have been kind, when you have been calm, when you were happy, when you were happy with something outside, when you were happy within yourself. All those impressions are stored. That is the first stage, which is an unknown stage. So, what Eastern wisdom does, we will explore that stage, that unconscious, ignorant, of which we are ignorant. And we will bring them at the conscious level. And once they are at the conscious level, the way we filter out, we separate. Say, for example, if the rice is mixed with the beans, so we know that, black beans. So we know the properties of the rice and we know the properties of the black beans, and so we can separate with the color, with the shape, with the feeling. Same way we separate, that is the journey. So the moment you separate, you know which has to be thrown out into the garbage and which has to be accepted. And then we know when we are going to be angry or upset, there is no chance of it. So the first stage is totally unknown to us. That is for the sake of understanding. Now, what happens, there is a bridge between the unknown storehouse of those impressions and the conscious mind. how the conscious mind acts. Consciously, it has a thought. You look at something and you say, what a wonderful thing it is. Oh, I will be happy with this guy. I will be unhappy with this guy. So the thought pops up because of the past impressions. So those impressions are there and that it pops up into the mind. You have a thought. Now we don't analyze that thought whether it pertains to the imagined or projected happiness from the world outside, imagined happiness or projected happiness from a person, from a situation, from an event, from a particular time. You have a birthday party and you say, my birthday party is destroyed by this friend. It might have happened to you. Do you see that? So, bridge between the unconscious, ignorant material and the conscious level of the thought, it is known as the sankalpa and the vikalpa, imagined and the projected happiness. Now that because I am seeking a projected happiness or I am seeking a projected imagined unhappiness, no, I don't want to talk to this guy, imagined unhappiness, because if I talk to that guy, I will be unhappy. So this thought keeps on repeating. Once we have an imagination and projection, these thoughts goes on repeating itself, which normally I'm seldom aware of it. So because of repetition in the mind, desire pops up. Desire again pops up in the form of a thought. So now it is the second stage. Now this desire, the moment you have a desire based on projected happiness, I believe you are understanding. The desire is based on projected and imagined happiness. I know the couple went to Hawaii last year. They spent thousands of dollars from Arizona to go to Hawaii. And when they reached the Hawaii, they both became sick. Why they have gone? They have gone for a vacation, to enjoy, to have happiness. And they told me that they spent the entire week in the hotel taking care of their health. And then they returned. I can hear you. So we don't ever think about it, why it happened. Why it happened? Because I imagined pleasure in a vacation and that imagination became an obsession, and that obsession is my desire. So I overlooked the state of the health, and then I say, oh, let us go, everything will be all right. This is the role of a desire. Not desire that is need-based desire. Desire that is a binding desire, that desire contains the imagined happiness. That causes the problem. So you see that because of these uncertainties in the fulfillment of desire, of imagined happiness outside, what happens now? This desire becomes either agitation or stress when it is unfulfilled. So desire changes its shades and color. It becomes now agitation and, oh, my desire is not, but I wanted to have this car and I'm not getting it, I'm unhappy. Or my honey told me this thing, I'm unhappy. Or my honey brought me the gift and I'm very happy. The next day you are unhappy. So you see the desire changes its shade when the desire is unfulfilled, agitation and stress, the duality and a conflict. Okay, I should not have this guy in my life, You think I know, you think of it. Whether you say it or not. Internally we think, secretly. But that secret is going to deposit in your impression again. and in the future that is going to create a conflict. It has nothing, it's not only with a partner, with anyone, with a friend or relations. Or if the desire is fulfilled, that guy is so good for me. He is really a good, or she is really a good friend of mine. So desire now becomes the pleasure, desire becomes the pain. Three things. Now the same desire becomes the delusion. Why it is a delusion? Because I am searching peace and happiness outside. Because I am blaming someone outside for my pain and the suffering. That is delusion. So desire becomes the delusion. Four enemies. And the fifth enemy, then it becomes the pride and the ego. And the sixth is the jealousy. So you have a jealousy, it is one form of a desire. You have a pride and ego, this is another shade of a desire. You are stressed, it is another form of a desire. You are seeking a pleasure from outside and you got a pleasure, this is another form of a desire. Desire changes its shape and the color. That is the third stage of, that is what, and we are constantly living in pleasure and pain. You get pleasure from a situation, from an event, from a condition of your life. You want to keep it. You want a continuity of it. It is not possible. Why? The world is constantly changing. It is not possible to continue the pleasure. You like pasta and you have gone to the restaurant. As long as for 15 minutes you are eating the pasta, you feel the contact of that pasta in your tongue and you find the pleasure. Once you are returning home, driving, that pleasure is already gone. Why it is gone? Because it is imagined pleasure. It is imagined happiness. Then what happens? Mind says, go back again next week. Go back again next week. So what is that repeat pleasure? That repeat pleasure means the greed. So these are the six enemies that is born in the mind because of imagined pleasure and imagined pleasure or pain. And imagined pleasure and pain, how it came? Because of the unconscious impressions of which we are not aware. It popped up in my mind and I am not aware, I am not conscious, I did not analyze, I did not think. So in the mode of a non-thinking, I am now surviving with these six enemies throughout our life. That is the way we live our daily life. That is the way we live our life. Pleasure, pain, pleasure, pain. When women here who always host Christmas Eve for her relations, including her son, her daughters, and then their daughters, etc., etc. And last Christmas, 3 days before, she was talking to me and she started crying. How can I manage it? It's a problem. If no one appreciates the food that I cook, I get upset. And it has been happening for the last 5 years of Christmas celebration. I'm seeking something, imagined pleasure. And that is how we continue to live our life. And we are so much obsessed with living that life that we don't want to search our real nature. And that is the greater ignorance. So then what happens? These six enemies takes now the different impure states of the mind, which I have already discussed in detail. What are those states of the mind? I should be cautious. I should become conscious. I should start thinking and contemplating. What are those? What are those different impure states of the mind? When you say I have a mood swing, means you get upset when you wake up in the morning. You are alone and you get upset. It is better nobody should live with you, nobody should talk to you, because if you make upset yourself, you can make upset anyone. I don't recognize it. I have a certain thought about a person, and then we say, okay. So this mood swing or getting upset is the impure state of the mind, the strong likes and dislikes. My mind does not leave a thought pattern. I have a chain of thoughts about a person, about, say, even sometimes we have a chain of thoughts about our close relations and even honey. He or she does not understand me. What is the problem? So you have an amount of jealousy in your mind that is because of the six enemies and you don't realize. And you have been constantly thinking what is going to happen after a few days. You are going to throw it out. How you throw it out? By anger, by agitation, by reaction. So you are destroying your relationship without understanding your mind. Understand it clearly. So if you understand, this is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom. It makes you understand. It is because of these impure states of the mind, whether it is strong likes and dislikes mind, upset mind, or you can say angry mind, stressed mind, depressed mind. In the depressed mind, these six enemies have become a very solid issue in your head. That is what we say the depression or anxiety or reaction. Right? You have a sheep mind, you have a money mind. Okay, had I been wealthy, I should have left this guy. Did I tell you that last week I was reading just a glance? I opened the browser and I open normally the Edge browser. So there is a news, an article. So the heading of the article. Heading of the article written by a woman that I lived with my honey for the last 10 years. Now I have accumulated $1 million. Now is the time to divorce my husband, but I don't know how to keep $1 million because if I divorce, I have to shell out $500,000 to my husband. Then you think in this way, obviously. Destructive thinking. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So that is a money mind. So if the money mind comes in between the relationship, it is going to destroy you. Your husband is not going to leave $500,000. Divorce it. So both will hire the lawyers. Basic problem that impurities of the mind we do not understand. And if we do not understand these basic impurities of the mind, it is very easy. Don't forget about that unconscious material of which you are ignorant. Understand the last product of the impurities of the mind. I have an anxious mind, strong likes and dislikes mind, reactive mind, anxious mind, mood swing mind. Or you can create more different states of the mind. When you are frustrated mind, they are because of the entire sequence, I gave you in the 4 stages. Think. We don't think about it. I am angry. Yes, I have a reason to be angry because you cheated me. So I don't take care of that, how to bring that angry mind into the calmness mind. But from the angry mind, if I take any decision, it is going to be wrong. If I take any decision from the money mind about this woman, I'm going to be destroyed. That we do not understand. Why we do not understand? Because we are living in ignorance. What is that ignorance? Lack of awareness of myself, lack of awareness of what is right and good in my life. I hope that the husband might have read that article. So the husband is also ready with the money mind and angry mind, and the wife is also ready with it. And then you are going to destroy yourself. This is how our mind becomes our own enemy and destroy our life. The Eastern wisdom says what is required is the purification of the mind. So we simply say the impurities of the mind, so it can be purified. Calmness mind, kindness mind, dispassion mind, discerning mind. These are pure states of the mind. Peaceful mind, compassion mind. They are pure mind. So a seeker always wants that my mind should remain pure in all the situation, in all the relationship, at all the time, in all the conditions of life. That is a prerequisite to discover the real self, our real nature, which is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. If we do not have a pure mind, it is not possible. I may become hypocrite inside. Okay, I have understood it. I have a pure mind. But when my honey comes, I get disturbed. This is hypocrisy. Are you understanding that? This is hypocrisy. So this is a problem in me, not problem with my honey partner or relationship or anyone outside. It is because of the strong likes and dislikes. So the intellectual understanding will not do. It is only the first step. We have to apply this intellectual understanding into a pragmatic understanding and experience. Now my mind lives in the state calmness mind. Calmness mind tackles, solves, and analyzes the problem of daily living. Whether you have big challenges or whether you have hundreds of pleasures, you look from the discerning mind, both. You look from the calmness of the mind. You look from the dispassion mind so that you don't have the likes and dislikes. You don't have the pain inside. And then only you can solve the puzzles, riddles of your life. Otherwise, there is no possibility. If you are solving the problem from the impure states of the mind, no possibility at all. You may think, I was in New Jersey. I remember this woman. I tell you that first 6 months I was giving her a lesson. She was undergoing a divorce. She always said it's a painful divorce, and once I will divorce, I will have wonderful life. I lived such a painful life for 20 years. So after 6 months, divorce was there, took place. Everything passed on peacefully. I went to her home to give a lesson to her. So on her gas stove was burning and the coffee was there boiling. In her hand in one hand, she has a beer after the divorce. On the other hand, she has a cigarette. And I wanted to give her a lesson in that state. Anyhow, I spent, hold on. Once I take the beer, she took the beer. After that, she took the strong coffee. And after that, she went into the patio. She smoked and she said, now teach me. I said, I'm not going to teach you, I'm leaving you. I will return you the money. I'm not interested. This is the state after the divorce. You told me that you will have a pleasure and a life full of happiness after the divorce. No, now I feel lonely. Why you feel lonely? Because not now you don't have anyone to fight with. Jealousy, hatred. 6 enemies. That is how I recognize. I said, unless you get rid of this jealousy and hatred, that chapter is finished. I was very happy when you sent an email that now everything falls into the right place according to your expectations. So now I thought that you should have been happy. You should have an intense desire to learn. And just the opposite happens. When I take a decision by the 6 impurities of the mind, you will have the continued state of the suffering. She was living somewhere in Malanpan, near English town. In her share, she got a big house, costing almost nearing $1 million, couple of cash. This is what happens. So the main factor is the impurities of the mind. If you don't purify the mind, you have billions of dollars, you have a big mansion, you are the Mr. or Miss Universe. It doesn't make any sense. Why I'm saying so? We have to think about it. And non-thinking causes the ignorance. Non-thinking causes most of the impurities. Non-thinking means I imagine pleasure and happiness. So we will take up this all the 6 conventional methods of purification of the mind. I told you, you heard it first. First conventional method is yajna or yajna. You can say in English Y-A-J-N-A. And it simply means sacrifice. I should sacrifice my selfishness. Well, the moment you sacrifice your selfishness, here in your head, from your head, inside, you need not to do anything outside. Intellectual understanding. You sacrifice your selfishness here, and there the impurity starts running away from you. That we will understand. Another is the money mind. We have a money mind. So we should find out how much extra money I have. Even $1, it's enough. That is the second purification of the mind. But if I constantly think, I don't have enough since my birth until today, you are going to destroy yourself. No, I cannot spare the money for charity like the Bill Gates. Do you have a sense of kindness in you? Give charity of kindness. Give charity of peace and calmness to others. That is the second. We will understand in detail. The third is the self-discipline. Impurities of the mind makes the life undisciplined. Every session you say it's a very good session. Dear guy, you talk very nicely. You give me the practice. I'm happy. But if there is no self-discipline, then the same, it goes back. It backfires. You forget that. So kind of a self-discipline and austerity and a penance at the physical, mental, and the emotional level is required. That we will talk. What are those disciplines? The fourth is that I should never leave a mantra practice at any cost on any day, whatever it takes. That is the fourth purification of the mind. And the fifth is that we should find a place, a people, a person in contact who has a sense of calmness and peace. Maybe any location. You can go to the church if you find the calmness there. Don't fall back into the cult and dogmatic views. Just sit in the church. How can I sit in the church? I have a kiddie. No, what is, I have a kitty party. How can I do that? I'm so modern. I don't have a time. We are not talking of religion and cult and dogma. Just sit there. You need not to confess anything or find some teacher. And then the life is going to change these six conventional practices. And once we have these six conventional practices, then comes the last one. What is the last one? Last one is the highest practice for the purity of the mind. Can I directly go to the highest practice of the mind? No, you cannot do PhD. You are already in kindergarten first. You have to graduate. There is no way. But even if you listen and do it, it will backfire you because you did not prepare the foundation. So close your eyes. Let us start our practice now. Eyes are closed and we find out the right place. You are aware of the space all around. Nothing to disturb you during the practice. Position of the body and the posture and being comfortable. Looking at the neck joint, feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You look deep inside the neck joint. Why? Our goal is not to pay attention to the body parts. Through the body parts, through the car, you drive home, you drive to your workplace, you drive to the mall. Through the body, we are moving the mind within. So you look at the shoulder joints inside. Just explore where begins the root of the joints. Why? The mind starts changing the direction from the world outside to inside, and it moves within, and that is the result. What is the result? Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Understand it clearly, every aspect. There is nothing that is blind and dogma and belief in the Eastern wisdom. Move the mind on the entire body and all the joints. Every time I say the name of the joint, you look inside. Neck, shoulders, elbows, wrist, spine, vertebrae, knees, ankles, toes, the entire body. Experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So what happens if the impurities of the mind is much stronger than these simple steps? What will happen? Your mind will start visiting the body, moving the body. And if you maintain this comfort and steadiness, yes, you're moving in a right way, being carefree, then look inside all those thoughts. The vehicles on the highway, they come and go, they do not stay there. Same way, on the mental highway, no thought can ever stay permanently. They come and go. So what exactly is the? We allow these thoughts to come, stay, leave it. Unwanted, undesirable thought, feeling, and emotions enter. So when I say that you let them come, let them go, why? On highway, no car stays permanently, neither yours nor mine nor anyone. Once we understand the result, we separate all the thought, feeling, and emotions from ourselves. But why? There is a rise in awareness. Again, you can ask why. In rise in awareness, there is a purity of the mind. When you fall in awareness, there is an impurity of the mind. I'm giving you every answer, and still, if it does not settle into your mind, and then God should help you. Now, in that passive state of comfort and steadiness in the body that continues, you look inside the forehead in the space. First, second is the steadiness in the body continues. The third, you start breathing quick and short breath into your chest through the nostrils, and you continue. As you continue to breathe into the chest in the state of the stillness, saying Shanto Hum inside the forehead, you will undergo many changes. Means many new experiences. What should I do with it? Never be scared. Be with it. Acknowledge, accept, and continue. You may feel tingling. You may feel a sense of numbness in the body, freezing, cold, hot. Let it be so. They are the mind, impure mind is testing you. Can you maintain that stillness? Can you continue with the Shantoham? Can you continue with the breathing? Then it will work. It is, you can say it is a kind of a self-discipline. So you see what we are learning, I'm giving you the same practices here. So there is a gap between the two, and we are going to fill that gap in the following sessions. Continue breathing, quick, short breath. Shantoham continues inside your forehead in the space. And the sensation, comfort, and steadiness also continues in the body. And stop it. If your mind has stopped the fast breathing on its own, it is the impurity of the mind. The mind did not resolve it to do it. And if you continued, it is wonderful. Do nothing. Breath is normal, and look at the entire head and the neck and experience the change. That change reflected in the state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Yes, you may have tingling sensation, freezing, cold, and heat. It's okay. They all comes under the sensation. Right arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Left arm, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. the middle portion of the body from the shoulder down to the waist, sensation, relaxation in stillness. Right leg, sensation, relaxation in stillness. Left leg, sensation, relaxation in stillness. The entire body, experience the sensation, relaxation in stillness. In that state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness in the body, that prevents the mind to go out. It helps the mind to continue to live within if you do not move the body at all. You will also have a feeling, oh, mind is living within. So from within, you are looking at the breath that is going in. You are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And every time the breath goes in and comes out, you drop Shanto hum on the breath. At the same time, you see the good space. Means you simply become aware of the infinite space. When the breath goes in and you're dropping Shanto hum, when the breath is coming out, you're dropping Shanto hum. Maybe you experience the inner space or emptiness or outer space or outer emptiness. Every time you drop Shantoham. Shantoham means I am the peace. I am with you. I'll not speak for a couple of minutes, and any thought that enters into your mind interrupts. You return, experience the sensation, relaxation, stillness, then look at the breath, drop Shantoham again. No worries if these thought enters into your mind. Don't get upset. Now do nothing, remain as you are, and you are conscious as if the mind is living in that infinite space, too far from any thought, feeling, and emotions. They means they do not impact you. So once we experience, oh, it is that state is possible. If it is possible even for a few seconds, it is possible 24/7. If it is possible 24/7, that is where the purity of the mind and then the real journey of the Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 3 times Shanti. One Shanti, we are saying, oh, from the unknown sources I get the peace or the pain. Oh, let there be peace from the unknown sources. Second Shanti is for the known sources. Our person, relations, karma, etc., etc., etc. Third Shanti lies within us, which is our nature. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness or the mind on the right hand. Feel the sensation there. Move the mind on the left hand. And when you are aware of the left hand, you will start feeling the sensation. It shows that the mind has gone there. If it is not, we need more practice. Now, lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down, we'll share our experiences. If you have any question pertaining to today's topic, definitely you can ask that question. How are you, Charlie?
I feel calm.
Calmness of the mind, that is pure mind.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah, like I was a long way away, but I could hear you. So I do have a question. Not quite sure how to put it in words, so I'll do my best. So if I'm understanding correctly, there's a lot that I have no idea what's going on, and it's going on all the time. And what we're being taught is a way to navigate that. And the tools that you're teaching us, they're the ones that get us to the right state of mind so that we can actually bypass the 6 enemies.
Yeah. Not only bypass, it transforms.
Yeah. Okay. So what I found myself doing is I say Shanto hum pretty much all the time because
Very
those 6
good.
enemies are just there all the time.
You are becoming a seeker now.
Okay.
You see, simple thing. You just experience the calmness of the mind. Hold on to that calmness of the mind. Throughout the day, next hour, next 2 hours and 3 hours, check what is preventing, what is destroying this calmness of the mind, and you will discover the impure states of the mind.
Thank you. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that is how we have to discover. Beautiful, wonderful. How are you, Anne?
Oh, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you do. Oh, it's all right. I don't know. It was very strange. I could not concentrate really, and not that I was.
Yes.
Yes. I had thoughts. I did not. I just couldn't concentrate. I felt tired, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's evening. I'm
No,
less
your mind did not.
awakened in the evening than in the morning.
Your mind did not accept the teaching that I have been teaching. There are the unknown sources, the depository of our past impression that pops up into the mind and gives you a hard time to focus and concentrate. Instead, you started thinking it is because of the evening. How many evenings you were stressed? Tell me. Is the evening cause of your stress?
I'm not stressed, no.
Is it because of the evening causes you a lot of thoughts?
No, I don't know what happened. It's happened to. I mean, it has nothing to do with your lecture.
It has to do with my
I
lecture.
went to a movie the other day. I was tired. I couldn't concentrate. I never knew what happened.
Again, understand. You say that I don't know what happened. I have been telling and making it very clear that there is unconscious level of the depository of these past impressions which is still present, and when they pop up, I don't know. So they have popped up into my mind, which made my mind crazy. Because if there is nothing inside, then my mind will not wander. Because there is already something inside, and that is the journey. So once I recognize, oh, it is because of those impressions that is already lying deep inside my mind, and this is the way. So I have some indication, some understanding that when I get upset, when my mind is wandering, it is because of those reservoir of the impressions present deep inside of which I am not aware. Simple. That's a very logical and cause and effect relationship. So why? Because why I'm stressing, and because if I think I don't know what happened, so every time this thing happened and your mind says I don't know what happened, that is going to cause more problem. Unless you have a right direction, yes, it is because of this is happening. I have to empty the reservoir of the past impressions. You see that? If I don't know what is going to happen every time, so I have some doubt. I have a sense of anxiety. Think.
Okay.
Think.
I'll think.
Yeah, think and come to the conclusion. I'm not saying that you have agree. Think.
Okay.
Very good. How are you, Mead?
Well, today my tax accountant brought my finished taxes to me, and I felt very happy. And then tonight I found out that a very close friend of mine has cancer. I felt very unhappy. And I realized from my time with you that was about this, going up and down instead of being
even and calmness.
Even and steady.
Yeah.
So that was a big learning.
Yeah, that's a big learning, because every day hundreds of events take place in our life, and to those events we are attached, and it is fulfilled, we feel happy. And those events we are not attached, we have an aversion, and they enter into our life, it makes me unhappy.
Yes.
So that is going on throughout the day. I may not notice inside, but that is going on every day. So once that goes every day, of which I do not notice, on a certain day it pops up. And that is what happened to the end.
Yes.
And this is the journey for clarity and understanding. So do this practice.